Here's how bad it's gotten, y'all. I saw a headline the other day that said, scientists finally learn what makes plants grow stronger and faster. So I clicked on that link about 35% certain that it was going to say electrolytes. I mean, consider the all-out war against science that they're waging here. RFK Jr. is banning government scientists from publishing in respected journals lest their penchant for peer review undermine his ideological crusade. The budget that the House just passed would cut funding for the National Science Foundation by 55%. Trump is enacting a personal vendetta against every college he was too stupid to get into, and that's cost the world's leading research universities billions of dollars already. The state of fucking Louisiana just passed a law banning chemtrails. This is an all-out and unapologetic assault on the very concept of science. And take a second to consider what science is, right? Science is, at least ideally, an unbiased interrogation of reality. So a war against science is a war against reality. This is a war waged by stupidity against the intelligence that keeps telling it it's wrong. I mean, consider the shit going on with the CBO right now, the Congressional Budget Office. This is a nonpartisan agency. It's been in operation since 1974, and its whole fucking job is to look at what Congress is proposing, run the numbers, and tell them how much that would cost. But when the CBO looked at the big, beautiful bill, and they said, hey, this is going to cost like $3.7 trillion added to the national debt, their answer wasn't to fix the bill. It was to start a fight with math. To claim the CBO is politically biased, which they're not, but even if they were, that wouldn't stop 2 + 2 from equaling fucking 4, would it? And look, as you may have noticed, I'm not the patriotic type. I don't rah-rah my fucking country, but the one thing America tends to get right, at least in my lifetime, is the science. We get it right for the wrong reasons. Sure, our national commitment to research science is born of the fucking Manhattan Project, but we get it right nonetheless. We recognize in a bipartisan manner that leading the world in scientific research is to the long-term benefits of our country, and we have since the fucking 50s. And because of that, U.S. government funding of scientific research has brought us shit like the internet, GPS, MRI, LASIK surgery, Doppler radar, smartphones, and the COVID-19 vaccines. What's more, our commitment to scientific discovery and cutting-edge research has attracted many of the brightest minds in the world to our colleges, and a lot of them end up sticking around. That's good for us as a country, but that was all before Trump pulled the plug on the national talent pool and opened the brain drain. It is an act of scientific suicide, national suicide. I mean, he is now pushing away foreign students, trying to revoke the ability of our leading students to enroll them, banning whole fucking countries from studying in American schools. This is an act in national sabotage that hostile nations could only dream of. Even if we reverse this shit tomorrow, our nation and the rest of the world would still be feeling this 50 years from now. Since their inceptions, both the skeptical and the atheist movements have positioned themselves as the sentinels of science. Sure, a lot of people stumbled into them because they wanted to be right and snarky and cynical, present company included, but those of us who have stuck around over all of these years did so because we felt like objective reality was both worth defending and in need of defending. But then a lot of leading voices in our movement didn't want to get too political and alienate conservatives, so they sat on their hands as the greatest threat to science that this nation has ever faced festered and grew. They fucking both sides this shit and pretended we were still dealing with a classic conservative versus liberal dynamic. And while our thumbs were so thoroughly ensconced in our asses, idiocy was fast at work consolidating forces. Consider that with RFK's involvement, Trumpism has now amalgamated Christian nationalism and natural green mommy health woo. The two strongest forces against observable reality are under the same umbrella now. Make no mistake, the present state of American discourse represents a wholesale systemic failure of skepticism. We had decades to make the case for our side, and instead, the nation chose to embrace a bigoted flavor of wishful thinking. And look, I'm not going to say I know how to fix this. I've certainly got some ideas, and for those, I'd encourage you to listen to the other 639 episodes of the show. But I am going to say that we need to own this as both our fight and our failure. The battle lines are drawn and the ranks are ours to fill. And I'm not even going to apologize for the war metaphor here because this fight will have casualties. People will die in direct proportion to how poorly we do in this fight. And we need that fact ever present in our minds, informing our decisions and doling out our motivation. Reality is under threat, and reality is all there is. There is nowhere to retreat to if it falls.